west to the east. That's why if you take off in an aircraft in California and fly to New York, you get there on average about 45 minutes earlier than if you were flying from New York to California, because the jet stream can go between 60 miles an hour and 200 plus miles an hour. So when your aircraft has it as a tailwind, it pushes you. I have studied in depth since Friday all of the live satellite feeds. You can just type in satellite feed of North American jet stream or Pacific jet streams, and you can see the exact maps of what's currently happening, the jet stream that goes over the Fukushima complex. And remember, the trade winds pick it up. Those are the lower winds and push it into the jet stream. But the trade winds and the jet stream above it goes right over Fukushima. And the media admits, oh, don't worry, it's being blown out to sea. AccuWeather is reporting, yes, it's being blown out to sea. So most of the fallout's being blown out to sea. First place it makes landfall. And if you look at the jet stream, in fact, let's put up the confirmed article, Meltdown at Fukushima. Kurt's article has that map, a screenshot of the jet stream. It comes in at about Northern California, bends up the coast, due to atmospheric changes with landfall, runs up Oregon, Washington State, and then turns back in the southwestern area of Canada and goes down through Idaho, Utah, into Colorado, and turns above Oklahoma. And by the way, it comes down low in the atmosphere over Oklahoma. Oklahoma, if this fallout gets into the jet stream, is going to be getting some. That's the most southerly area the jet stream's dumping. It's going to dump in there. So that entire area, as a precaution, you should seek medical advice. But I personally am taking the naturally occurring iodine from alfalfa, dulse, and kelp. And so are my children. They're taking the recommended dose because the #1 cause of death or illness is the thyroid operates off of iodine. But it can't recognize nuclear iodine, radioactive iodine. And again, there on screen, we have a screenshot of the jet stream for you, going right over Japan, as you can see there, dumping in over central to northern California, banding up through the northwestern states, and then into Canada, dumping back down over the Rockies and into Illinois, Oklahoma, you name it. And it does gyrate. It is moving back and forth. We have the latest report here. Radiation from Fukushima would take 7 days to reach U.S. Some estimates early on were 3 to 4 days, but currently with the speed of the jet stream and the analysis of AccuWeather.com is saying 7 days to reach the United States. So it'll be reaching here. The first leakage was Friday, obviously. The explosion of the first Fukushima 1 was on Saturday morning. Fukushima 3 completely blew up today. And let me tell you, when it's ejecting at 4,000 feet in a matter of 2 seconds, you better believe it is getting airborne. Most of it will dump into the ocean, thank God. And it's very good news that it's not, most of it's blowing out to sea for the folks in Japan. There are now hundreds and hundreds reporting radiation, sickness, and contamination. They're also reporting that U.S. Navy crews have been contaminated who are off the coast, obviously in the most deadly of zones. No word yet of the Pentagon is pulling ships to the south and out of the fallout zone. But as I told callers from Japan Friday who were near Fukushima, I said, get out of there and get to the south. The winds are to the northeast, out to sea. You do not want to be north of Fukushima. Guys, I had it in my stack, but I didn't see it. Will you guys print me a map of other reactors in trouble? I know there's 2 others separate from Fukushima. Here's the larger issue. Fukushima 1 blew up Saturday. It melted down. It blew. They tried to spin that and lie about it. 5-6 hours later, they admitted it had melted down and blown up. Fukushima 3 blew up at least 10 times more spectacularly. There's Fukushima 1 blowing up on screen. We'll show you Fukushima 3 when we come back from break. Just at least 10 times that. I mean, clearly ejecting the insides, the guts of the reactor straight up. Only one thing does that, total meltdown. And there is, we'll be right back. That's Fukushima 1 blowing. Well, this is unbelievable.
HempUSA.org has a revolutionary wonder food for detoxing the body and rebuilding the immune system. Microplant powder can help unclog arteries and soften heart valves while removing heavy metals, virus, fungus, bacteria, and parasites. Plus, it cleans and purifies the blood, lungs, stomach, and colon. Keep your body clean with Microplant powder. Visit us at HempUSA.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237. On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
America, you've been warned. For weeks, we've been warning you about a single event we believe will happen in the next 12 months that will shake the very foundations of our nation. We've told you about the video that details this shocking prediction. So far, over 6 million people have watched this free video online. Have you? Again, this big event has nothing to do with war or the stock market, yet it could change everything about your normal way of life. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your family. Could this really happen? Well, the man who created this video has been right about many predictions in his career. He was among the first to predict the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. If you haven't taken time to watch this free video, do it right now. You may never think about America the same way again. You can find the free video at endofamerica3.com. Again, that's www.endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Never buy home canning jar lids again. No kidding. When you buy Tadler reusable canning lids once, you'll never buy canning lids ever again. Safely store emergency preparedness foods for years. Traditional metal lids are single-use throwaways containing BPA. But Tadler reusable canning lids are guaranteed to last a lifetime when used as designed for home canning. Tadler lids are made with a USDA and FDA-approved food-grade plastic, safe for direct food contact, and contain no BPA. Tadler lids are dishwasher safe, usable with standard pressure or water bath canning, eliminate food spoilage from acid corrosion, fit standard mason jars, are indefinitely reusable, and are proudly made in the USA. Place orders at reusablecanninglids.com or call 1-877-747-2793. 877-747-2793. Call 877-747-2793 or go to reusablecanninglids.com. That's reusablecanninglids.com for Tadler reusable canning lids, the original since 1976.
There's another big facet to this story. It's how governments always lie. It came out in the press that 3 Mile Island released well over 100 times the radiation that they had claimed back in the early 1970s. And that didn't come out for more than a decade. You could pull up those numbers. Just type in radiation much worse than originally reported at 3 Mile Island. You can also pull up ABC News of Australia about the history of Japan, covering up the severity of other disasters they've had that are nothing compared to this, but that were very serious. Also, I did a lot of research this weekend, and Kurt Nemo's got a report coming out very soon on it, where they reported that the small disaster compared to what just happened at Fukushima 1 and 3 with both reactors blowing sky high, that that the disaster at Chernobyl put out conservatively over 100 times what the bomb at Hiroshima did. You see, A-bombs and hydrogen bombs, if they're clean, if they're designed correctly, expend almost all of their fuel. And there's not a lot of fallout left, especially if they're airburst. But when they explode on the ground, they mix with other metals around them and create all sorts of horrible mixtures of different isotopes. It will take billions of years for this uranium, cesium, radioactive iodine to lose its radioactivity. This stuff's going to be orbiting forever. Now, I've done the research. Kurt's done it. He's got a big report coming out on the chain reaction that's clearly happening at this facility in Japan that has the 6 reactors. But there are other reactors that they're also reporting are on the verge of meltdown, separate from the Fukushima facility. So all of this is unfolding, and the government, right after this blew up this morning, got up there and said again, oh, it was just a little explosion from some hydrogen, no big deal. The whole thing disappears. The entire number 3 blows up, clearly damages other reactors around it, just like one did, and they're saying it's no big deal. Here's the clip from Al Jazeera.
Officials had warned that a second explosion could happen at any time, and on Monday, that warning came true. It was believed to have been triggered by a buildup of hydrogen and oxygen gases igniting in reactor number 3. Immediately, the government sought to allay fears of a major nuclear leak.
We believe there was only a low possibility of a major radiation leak, similar to when reactor number 1 exploded.
The Tokyo Electric Power Company believes the containment vessel is not damaged.
No.
However, with regards to radiation that might have leaked, they are now checking.
Residents remaining within a 20-kilometer radius of the nuclear plant have been told to stay indoors and keep their windows shut. 180,000 people had already been evacuated following Saturday's explosion at reactor number 1.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Fukushima 1 completely blows up and disappears. Just incredible explosion. Fukushima 3 blows up. The explosion's got to be 10 times. A mushroom cloud. There's black debris flying out of the top of it. The plant number 3 is gone. They've got emergency crews there trying to pump seawater in, something the U.S. government called a last-ditch emergency effort on Saturday to stop meltdown. What do you think's going to happen to the other 4 reactors? What did I say Saturday in Kurt Nemo's article? That it was assured that it was going to cause other explosions and meltdowns. This is a no-brainer. You've got 6 plants in a complex hit by a tsunami, hit by an earthquake, emergency power out, diesel generators out, emergency batteries out. You've got valiant people we've got to be praying for. Emergency nuclear physicists, the Army, they're there trying to stop what's happened. And I understand they don't want to create panic. But at the same time, they need to be honest with people and start giving them precautions for radiation poisoning. First they said 6 miles, then 20, now 60 miles, that they're picking up all these different radioactive isotopes all over Japan. Most of it is blowing out to sea. What is on the other side of the Pacific Ocean? North America. Now, we put this out Saturday. We put out the report dealing with fallout. The headline is up on the Drudge Report if you want to read that original headline dealing with it. And now it has been confirmed that indeed there was a meltdown at Fukushima number 1. And they were telling us Saturday that there hadn't been a meltdown at Fukushima 1. Now they're telling us there wasn't a meltdown at Fukushima number 3, or they hope not. A meltdown, it's completely blown off the map. Containment facility. Fukushima number 1, you see the containment facility blow sky high and pieces of black equipment flying around. This time, you see giant black objects shooting up out of the explosion. That's the reactor. That's what happens when one melts down. It has a critical chain reaction and blows sky high. We'll be right back breaking it down.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that